Okay, so I just showed the Goth list, and now we'll play some games with it. Got some fun decks sitting over here. I won't really be using them much. So, here's our second metagaming deck, Gothitelle. And here it loads. Mr. S.H. Line, who just mulliganed. Oh, we are facing a mirror match. Oh my. This is one of the most crazy mirrors ever, for the record. Oh, and they've disabled chat. We must be dealing with a younger player here of some sort. Interesting. Tornadus. This might be an incomplete version. I'm not quite sure. It's using the bad Gothitelle, so it's very possible. Be smart about this. And go ahead and grab Solosis, Gothitelle. Now in mirror, really mirror's just horrible in this deck, to be honest. I hate the mirror in this deck. I honestly do. It's the slowest deck ever versus the slowest deck ever. Or Gothitelle. Or Gothorita, rather. I hate the names on these, for the record. So, Screw Past. So, let's see what Sages nets us. Let's some options here. I really don't like any of them. I can only get 2 of these cards, mind you. So I'm actually going to go with the Magnezone. It'll be pretty useless. I'm just going to activate Twins with it. So let's get the Reuniclus and the Sages. I never like making choices like that. Regardless. So here comes Gothitelle. Has 1 energy on it. Now, even though I'm running Sages, it looks like they've got the better start. Wish I could chat with them, but that's apparently not allowed. All you can use is the pre-done buttons. Regardless. Sage time. So in this game, whoever takes the first KO loses. Additionally. if she or he, I'm assuming a she for the purposes of this, has a catcher and a switch, or yes, a catcher and a switch, and DCE, could actually take the advantage right here, because once Gothitelle goes down, you're pretty much dead. So, I see a second Tornadus, which means she's probably using Tornadus in lieu of Zekrom or Richram as her damage sponge. And there goes the Solosis. Imagine we're going to see a... So, it's going to be a war of draw passing for a few turns. Now, unfortunately, at this point I'm at a severe disadvantage. At this point, a Juniper and a double colorless would seal the game. So one nice thing about TCGO is it forces you to go into this like an actual tournament. You have no clue what matchup you're going to hit. Now, I did see any catcher, which is interesting. I suppose it makes sense. And there it is. Now, you gotta be careful here, because if you bring up my Gothitelle, or rather Gothitelle, okay, so it's gonna be the Zekrom. Zekrom has obviously a retreat of 2 instead of 1, giving her more time. This truly is a game of draw passing at this point. And it would appear that our Cleffa is prized, so our options remain Gothita, Pichu, and Solosis. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Gothita. Reduce my hand size to prevent any sort of shenanigans with Copycat, and pass. So, at this point, I'm in a trouble of hurt. 3 Psychic Energies, a catcher, and a switch at this point would seal the game. Cool thing about Gothitelle is once the lock is up, you can't lose. Not so cool thing about Gothlock is if you don't get the lock up, or they catcher you up before you can get the lock up, and the energy required, you're toast. But, nothing. So, very interesting matchup here. At this point I could junk arm, but there's no switch in here. Just communication or catcher. Catchering would be pointless right now. And there's a thing on the board that I don't want after. It has a retreat cost of 1. So Tornado is going to go aggro at this point. We'll see. Yep, Tornado is going aggro at this point. So Tornadoes will stack energy on the second Goth on the bench. Okay, there we go. And of course, Pokegear hits nothing but a second Twins. But that's okay. So I'll go ahead and Pokegear once again. I'm hoping to hit Sages. Interviewers. Well, that'll work. So it goes the Reuniclus. So at this point, unless I OHKO everything, I lose. Simple as that. You may even see double Reuniclus at this point. I think this person invested very heavily into emerging powers and not much else. Looks like black and white emerging powers actually the only sets. With the exception of collectors, emerging powers in black and white are the only sets being used here. Oh, I'm not including the twins and the interviewers, which are fairly easy to get and create War 4, so. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up Gothitelle. So here's another twins. Now, of course, can't use catcher, so you have to always KO my active Goth, which means I pull up my Goth and KO you. So we're gonna see Secret pulled up here. Not quite sure why that was done, but I'll pick up the Solosis. I guess they were hoping I was doing it to pick up the Gothitelle. I don't know. Some kind of waste of a supporter spot to me. Whatever the case, at this point, if they take the KO, I get twins, which they just did. So we'll see the classic tornadoes play here. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Magnemite. Fortunately, Reuniclus is incredibly annoying to use. Now you can see why people shy away from this deck so much. It's ridiculously slow. And at this point, here's twins. So I get junk armor for surprised. So I'll go ahead and take the Psychic, and at this point, take the Delusion. And 110 damage for knockout. So playing like I just did, I've denied him and or her these twins as well. At this point, they're in a very limited situation. There are 12 cards left in my deck and 12 in theirs, so they can't exactly help me deck out before I take 3 prizes. I have the lock active, and they do not. So there does go the Gothitelle, but with 1 psychic energy, I can junk arm for the catcher and go to town. So collector for nothing. And I could Sages here, but I really don't need to. Also, I could attach. Also, no need to. So, actually, I'm going to go ahead and junk arm, Delusion, and Sages. There's still a bunch of candy in my deck. And I'm going to grab the catcher. So, at this point, we really don't need the psychic energy anywhere. So, just going to hold on to it. I'll attach to the active just for fun. So up comes Gothitelle. Now, of course, at this point, we have given them twins. So, we should fix that. But on second thought, I'm going to leave it like that. I don't want Seeker putting me out of a lock. There's a nice 260 damage off the top. At this point, we OHKO everything on the board. Now, I imagine we'll probably see a twins. How many are in the discard? I see 1, maybe 2 in the discard. It's probably a twins in hand. Or if not, this is a very incomplete list. So there's not. So they're forced to Bianca. So down to 5 cards now. And a Psychic Energy. And 10 cards in my deck, 5 cards in theirs. At this point, barring surprise DCE tech, we win. And so nope, so they concede. So there's a Goth Mirror win. Yay.